book humans, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a book haul because I have no self-control. So this is going to be my June book haul, even though I did buy a couple of these books between the past couple of days, which was the beginning of July, and I know I'm posting this late, but whatever. So this is going to be my June book haul. I'm going to dive right in because I got lots of books. So I'm going to start with Isle of Night and Vampire's Kiss by Veronica Wolf. I got these from a used bookstore near my house. So Isle of Night is about a girl named Annalise who is supposed to be going to college to get away from her abusive stepfather and mother, or abusive father and stepmother. My bad. And something goes wrong. She ends up not being able to graduate high school. And so she's approached by this guy who's dark and mysterious and way too seductive for his own good. And he offers her this opportunity to go to this island and train to team up with vampires. So of course she accepts because she figures anything's better than what I'm walking into. So this is the first book, and then this is the second book in the series. At the bookstore they had 4 books. I didn't pick up the other 2 because I didn't know if I'd like these 2. I'll be honest, I bought these because of the covers. They reminded me of the super trashy young adult novels I read when I was like 13. Because I've been in a reading slump, and I figured what better than to get back into what made me really want to read in the first place. So these are the first 2 books in my haul. I'm not really going to tell you much about this one because that would involve spoiling this one for me, so I'm not even going to read the back. We're just going to put them together, put them down over here. The next book I've got for you guys is I Am the Messenger by Magnus Chase. Honestly, I picked this up for 2 reasons. One, I love The Book Thief by Magnus Chase. It's one of my favorite books of all time, so I figured this is going to be amazing. And because at Barnes & Noble's they had a YA paperback table, which was 3 books for $20, and how can you pass that up, especially when there's a Magnus Chase book on the table. So this book is about a young cab driver who really doesn't have a whole lot going for him until one day he accidentally stops a robbery, and then all of a sudden he gets this card in the mail, and that's when all his problems start. This book honestly sounds super interesting. I feel like I'm already hooked. Like, I just read the back, but I need to know what happened. I love the cover of this book. I think it's super cool. So, definitely looking forward to diving into this one. My next book on my haul is How to Hang a Winch by Adriana Mather. My bad. That's actually kind of funny because the main character's last name is Mather. Who would have thought? So this is about a young girl who ends up moving to Salem. And she's actually the great, add some more greats in there, granddaughter of the man who originally started the Salem witch trials. And she instantly becomes the target of this group of girls known as the Descendants, and they are descendants from those killed during the Salem witch trial. She then befriends a ghost and realizes she's in the middle of this huge year-long curse, or like centuries-long curse, and she has to figure out either how to team up with the Descendants and break the curse, or who knows what's going to happen. Again, this was on the table with the Magnus Chase book, and I was like, wow, this seems super interesting and like nothing I've ever read before, but also like everything I've read before. But I used to have a huge thing for the Salem witch trial, so I figured why not give this one a shot. So we're going to see how that goes. My next book was also on the table with Magnus Chase and Adriana Mather's book, and this is called The Third Twin by C.J. Umalu, or Amal. I'm so sorry for pronouncing that wrong. This book sounds crazy. I'm just going to start that off. I had to buy it. So it's about these 2 twins, and they ended up making up a third twin for every time they got in trouble. They would blame, oh, Alicia did it. Oh, Alicia ate the cookie, so on and so forth. But as they got older, Alicia grew with them, and then they started using her as kind of an alter ego to talk to boys that they usually wouldn't talk to, do things that they usually wouldn't do. But one of the boys that Alicia goes on a date with ends up getting murdered, and it gets drawn back to the 2 twins, but no one really knows who does it. And the one sister wants to play along and say, if we play by the rules of Alicia, everything will be fine, we can't get in trouble. But then the sister Lexi is kind of like, well, I don't know if I want to do that. So we basically have to figure out who killed the boy, what happened. I'm hooked. I don't really read like thrillers. I don't even know if this would be considered a thriller. Well, it says thriller at the top, so I guess it is. I'm super hooked. I need to know what happens. The next book I picked up is called The Goddess Test by Amy Carter. First of all, I just really like the cover. I know it's a little beaten up, beat up. I got it from a used bookstore. It was the same day I got the 2 vampire books. And it's about a girl whose mother is dying, and she has to move schools and start a whole new life, and she's not even sure her mom's going to live past the fall. And she's approached by this boy who says he's Hades, god of the underworld, and then if she can go through these 7 tests, not only will he keep her mother from dying, but she also gets to become his wife and a goddess. So, I'm super curious to see how this goes, but I looked up some reviews on Goodreads, and it actually sounded like it was pretty bad, but just because it doesn't really follow, like, Greek mythology, which I'm okay with, like, I'm alright for a little deviation. So I'm curious to see how I like this. It's kind of short, so I feel like I might, like, really just breeze through this one. It is blurred by Cassandra Clare, and it says, a fresh take on the Greek myths adds sparkle to this romance fable. So I'm curious to see what happens. My next book that I got was Ink, Iron, and Glass by Gwendolyn Clare. I look at this every time I go towards the Cassandra Clare books, because obviously Claire and Claire are next to each other. And I really like the cover, like that definitely drew to me. And it's about a girl who, I'm just going to read the book jacket because I actually don't remember. A certain pen, a certain book, and a certain person can craft entirely new worlds through a branch of science called scriptology. Elsa came from one such world that was written into creation, where her mother, a noted scriptologist, constantly alters and expands the reality. When her home is attacked and her mother kidnapped, Elsa is forced to cross into the real world and use her own scriptology gifts to find her. In an alternative Victorian Italy, Elsa finds a secret society of young scientists with a gift for mechanics, alchemy, or scriptology, and meets Leo, a gorgeous mechanist with a smart mouth and tragic past. She recruits to help these fellow geniuses just as an assassin arrives on their doorstep. In this thrilling debut, worlds collide as Elsa unveils a deep political conspiracy seeking to unlock the most dangerous weapon ever created, and only she can stop it. So this basically sounds like every YA novel ever, and it kind of reminds me of City of Bones. But I'm going to read it and see what happens. I'll be honest, I started it already, and it's slow, and I heard the reviews were bad, but we're going to give it a shot. The next 2 books I got were the first 2 books in the Magnus Chase series, because they were 2 for $10 at work, and how do you pass that up? And these covers are stunning. I've been desperately trying to get into the Percy Jackson world and the Rick Riordan books, but I feel this need, like I can't get Percy Jackson without buying the whole Percy Jackson series. There's a lot to get caught up there, so I grabbed the Magnus Chase books, again, because the covers are stunning. I love the covers. I love that they're hardback too, but that's not the point. And I also like that it's kind of separate from Percy Jackson, so I can read this on its own, and I don't have to, like, read all the stuff with Percy to know what's going on with Magnus and his life. So, essentially, in this book, Magnus's mom, I don't really know if she dies or what happens. I read it earlier, and I already forgot. But he's living on the streets, and his uncle is looking for him, and when his uncle finds him, he tells him all these stories of gods from Asgard, and so on and so forth, and then they get attacked by a fire giant, and all this stuff happens. I'm curious to see what the heck happens, because that just sounds wild. And again, I love these covers. I'm not going to read the blurb for this one, just like I did with the other series, just because I don't want to spoil anything for anyone, including myself. So we're just going to take these 2 and we're going to put them over there. And the last book I have for my June book haul is I Darken by Kirsten White. Wow, Kirsten Cass, whole other person. I'm going to drop it. So, I picked this book up, 1, because I love the cover, first of all. Second of all, the Booksplosion book of the month for June was Now I Rise, which was the 2nd book in the series, and I thought I was going to be able to get caught up, and then I didn't. So, this one is basically the female version of Vlad the Impaler, and she kind of wants to take her throne back. Her brother's comfortable in the Ottoman Empire, and of course, there's a boy. So, I'm curious to see what happens with this. I know the 3rd book in the series is coming out really soon. I've seen trailers for it online. So, I'm super excited to dive on into this one. It was super cheap, too. I think I got it for like $6. So, that's it for my book haul. That was how many books? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 books for the month of June that I picked up. I only read 1 book in June. And I'll have another book haul coming for you guys soon for the month of July, because I did just buy 9 books off of Book Outlet, and I'm sure I'm not done for the month. I hope to see you guys again soon. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you've read any of the books in my haul. Comment down below. Let me know what you thought. Or tell me if there's any books you think I need to read or pick up. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye bye for now.